It's July 27th, 2021, and this is Sketchworks NewsBrake. The news stops here. I'm Brian Troxell, and I am so glad I decided to turn down a spot on the U.S. Olympic team. Oof. Looking at the Olympic medal count, there are 3 medals. The bronze, that's for 3rd place, the silver, 2nd place, and of course the gold, which is for 1st place. And there's your Olympic medal count. 3. A 13-year-old Japanese girl has become the 2nd youngest person ever to win a gold medal at the Olympic Games. She won the gold for Best TikTok. In an effort to push back against the sexualization of women in gymnastics, the German gymnastics team has opted against wearing the traditional bikini-cut leotard for a unitard which ends at the ankles. And to them, we say, "You go, German girls!" Or as they say in Germany, "Du goest, German Girlin." I took 3 years of German in high school. But that was 35 years ago, and the language was completely different back then. East Germany was still a thing. Anyway, they may have made their unitards a little too restrictive, as the German gymnastics team did not qualify for the finals. Oh well, best of luck in 4 years. Or actually 3 years, as the 2020 Olympics are being held in 2021. For interesting facts on the Olympics, check out our Patreon this week. Staying in the wide, wide world of sports, the Cleveland Indians are changing their name. By next season, they'll be the Cleveland Guardians, a reference to the landmark statues in the city. It's a much better choice than being named after another famous Cleveland landmark, the Cleveland polluted river that's on fire. Sketchworks NewsBrake correspondent Tim Millard tells us what Cleveland's decision means for the Atlanta Braves.
Cleveland's decision leaves the Atlanta Braves as the only team in Major League Baseball with a Native American influence name that its critics find offensive. The Braves have backed away from some of the Native American imagery of the past, namely the so-called Screaming Savage mascot and Chief Nakahoma.
If you take a look at Nakahoma, he's praying for a win.
A character actually played by a Native American. In 2020, the Braves told its season ticket holders that changing the team's name is not under consideration or necessary. But 2021 is bringing change. Sketchworks NewsBrake has learned the team plans to go with a name that is more appropriate and accurate. Goodbye, Atlanta Braves. Hello, Cobb County Braves. For Sketchworks NewsBrake, I'm Tim Millard.
Thank you, Tim. It's a shorter drive for me. Now, if anyone from the Braves is watching, we have 2 things. First, that was a parody, so don't sue us. Second, we suggest naming your team after one of these popular Atlanta landmarks: the Atlanta Metal Plates, the Atlanta Peachtree Roads, or the Atlanta part of Interstate 85 that burned down in 2017. The New York Police Department reported that they have vaccinated 40% of their staff. The other 60% were fired last year. Billionaire George Soros donated $1 million to a group whose objective is defunding the police. Why? Because George Soros is actually the Penguin. Chicago Public Schools announced that they will require face masks for the upcoming school year. They said the masks will prevent deaths because they are bulletproof. Due to the pandemic, U.S. life expectancy dropped 1.5 years during 2020. Fantastic! Less money I need for retirement. I'm buying a boat. Rock legend Eric Clapton says he will not play at any venues that ban people who aren't COVID vaccinated. However, he will play private VIP gigs in their hospital rooms as they're being intubated. A study done by the Korea Disease Control and Prevention Agency, or CODICOPREVAGE, found a mixed vaccination of first AstraZeneca and then a Pfizer COVID-19 shot boosted antibody levels by 6 times compared with 2 AstraZeneca doses. And I found Mixing half an Ambien with half an OxyContin gives me a great 30-hour sleep. The dreams, though, man, they're effing crazy. A study performed by the Journal of School Health, which is much easier to say than the previous place, found that there is virtually no spread of COVID-19 on school buses, meaning that the wheels on the bus remain the only thing going round and round. Here at Sketchworks NewsBrake, we strive for accuracy. But from time to time, mistakes occur. We're human after all, and we're very cheap. Last week, we did a story about actor Jerry O'Connell. For those who missed it, here's a clip. For the first time in its 24-year history, ABC's The View will have a man as a permanent co-host. Oh, it's Jerry O'Connell. I guess that still counts. That report, written by Sketchworks head writer John D. Babcock III, is erroneous. Here now with a correction about actor Jerry O'Connell is John D. Babcock III.
Last week, I wrote a piece stating that actor Jerry O'Connell was named permanent co-host of The View. For those of you that missed it, here's a clip.
For the first time in its 24-year history, ABC's The View will have a man as a permanent co-host. Oh, it's Jerry O'Connell. I guess that still counts.
That story is erroneous. Actor Jerry O'Connell was not named co-host of The View. Actor Jerry O'Connell was named co-host of The Talk, replacing Sharon Osbourne. So my apologies to The View, to The Talk, to ABC, to CBS, to Sharon Osbourne, and to actor Jerry O'Connell. And it's a lesson to me that these type of erroneous mistakes here on NewsBrake can be easily avoided with a little bit of due diligence, particularly due diligence when it comes to actor Jerry O'Connell, who rose to prominence in the 1980s, playing the heavyset boy in the iconic film The Goonies. My apologies, Brian. These errors won't happen again. Back to you in the studio.
Thank you, Babs. Something for all of us to think about and reflect upon. Dozens of people died after flooding in China last week. Now, I know what we're all thinking, but thank goodness the iPhone factory is just fine. Sunday was the first ever World Day of Grandparents and the Elderly. To commemorate this occasion, the Justice Department stated it will not be opening a probe into COVID-19 deaths at nursing homes caused by America's worst governor, Andrew Cuomo. Cuomo is free once again to wreak havoc on the aged population of the Empire State. Let's all pray for the senior citizens of New York. While on the subject of Cuomo, Thursday he signed legislation making 18 the age of consent to be married in New York State. He then announced his engagement to recent Albany High School graduate Vicky D'Annunzio. The couple are registered at Pottery Barn Teens. Rapper and music producer Dr. Dre will have to pay his ex-wife spousal support of nearly $300,000 a month until she dies or remarries. You can't buy love, but you can definitely pay for it. 15 years after his death, the heirs of James Brown have finally come to an agreement on handling the late singer's estate. They have unanimously agreed not to name Britney Spears' father as conservator. In Sketchworks comedy news, Saturday afternoon was our Sketchworks Kids and Teens show at the Village Theater here in Atlanta. Our first show back after lockdown. And not too bad a crowd. If you want to attend a Sketchworks comedy show at the Village Theater, then get your tickets for our brand new all-female sketch comedy show, Heels Up, August 13th through the 28th. Here's a promo. If that doesn't get you excited, I don't know what will. Come out and laugh again at Heels Up. Tickets available at sketchworkscomedy.com. Also, our Intro to Sketch Comedy acting class, led by Sana Erica, begins Wednesday, August 4th, which, as my watch tells me, is only 8 days from now. Sana was at the show on Saturday. This is a 6-week course at the Village Theater. To learn more and to sign up, go to, you guessed it, sketchworkscomedy.com. And if you want to support Sketchworks Comedy and all the laughter we bring into the world and into your life, you can by becoming a Patreon subscriber, just like influencer Susan Scher. Get access to bonus NewsBrake material. Get discounts to Sketchworks shows and classes. Get a holiday card personally autographed by me. Head on over to our Patreon page and help support Sketchworks. I'm not going to send you a holiday card. I don't have that kind of time. This has been the Sketchworks I have got to have a talk with the editor. Wait, I'm the editor. I have got to have a talk with me. Pillow purveyor turned conspiracy theorist Mike Lindell says he believes President Biden and Vice President Harris will resign after they see his upcoming symposium where he claims the 2020 election was rigged. We don't think Lindell understands how presidential succession works, but we're sure President Pelosi will explain it to him. After saying he had a gun, a substitute teacher in New York then threatened to shoot the entire class. My classmates were pretty shaken up by the incident, said student Ben Dover. A 47-year-old Maryland mother of 5 and Uber Eats driver has won $250,000 from a scratch-off ticket. Of course, after federal tax, Maryland state tax, and caring for her 5 children, the lucky mom will still be working for Uber Eats. A woman in Oklahoma was accused of killing her husband by driving into him with an ATV after he asked for a divorce. You see, now that's exactly the type of shit he was talking about. And that's all for Sketchworks NewsBrake. We'll be back next week, and we hope you are too. I'm Brian Troxell, and if you've recently killed your husband or are Dr. Dre's ex-wife, call me.
And I am telling you, as I sit here, I have told you the facts on COVID from day one. Whether they were easy, whether they were hard, I told you the truth.